I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, we're back. It is the Julie Jeppson podcast, Conversations with Carly and the Gritty Mamas production. I don't think we did. We just got right into it because it's late. And Dana is not from, well, she lives in out of state. So I was like, we better get this going because I want to get as much out of her as possible while we have her.
I get this call today. Wait, did you are you canceling? Are you canceling on the No, I'm coming, Julie. Wait, did you say not the podcast? I'm like, I'm coming.
Oh, yes, because so many people want to know who you are and what you do. And I also realized that in the last podcast, I just jumped right at, which I didn't expect to take the whole time, but jumped right into all the things that I've seen her do and what she does. But I think it's important now to kind of explain for people that, you know, may be involved in domestic abuse. They might not know that they are. I know that I get those comments a lot. So Dana, why don't you tell us what it is that you do exactly? I mean, I told everyone what I think you do and what I've watched you do, but how do you introduce yourself to someone, and what do you tell people domestic abuse is when they don't realize that they're in it?
I don't know. How do I introduce myself?
Yeah.
I'm Dana.
Uh-huh.
Like when they say, what do you do? I don't, it depends on what's needed, honestly.
So you're an expert in what?
I mean, in my own mind, I don't know. Like, I mean, your opinion of me is based on your experience with me.
What's on your resume? You call it a CV. What are the top 3 things that, you know, you're most used for?
I mean, it changes sometimes. It depends on, I mean, I kind of follow the problem. It's like a bad habit. You know, whatever I see happening the worst right now, like we were talking about, I'm super into, why are we using guardian ad litem again? That doesn't make sense. It seems like a breeding ground for corruption.
Yeah.
I mean,
lead
me.
You are a domestic violence national expert.
Okay, yeah. So I started by. I took Tina Swithin's course. I thought, oh, these are people that know the same sort of thing. Let me do that because I'm already coaching, consulting. Yeah. People say coaching. I tried to coach, but I'm way too opinion based. If you need someone to hold your hand and kind of just watch and be there and support, that's probably not me. I mean, I want to be that person, but I like to work with people that want to work and change something. If there's something that needs changing and something needs to be done, I don't do very well waiting or sitting back, would you say?
No. Yeah, you do not.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
So if you want to call and complain to someone, get a therapist. You should have a therapist anyway. If you work with me, you should have a therapist. You should have a lawyer.
Okay, so how does someone work with you? This is, I think, the biggest problem right now because she's freaking got a ton of clients. And part of the problem is that so many of these clients have been crippled financially in family courts. They can't pay their lawyers. They can't pay Dana. They can't pay the custody evaluators and the guardian ad litem. They are, just like me, just drained of every resource that you have. So how is someone going to be able to work with you?
I mean, I don't know that I know all those answers, but I know clients tell me that their attorney's bills cut in half when they work with me. I mean, there's great attorneys out there, but whether their attorney wants to, doesn't know how, doesn't have time.
Or are too arrogant.
But sending like a vent to your attorney is very expensive. Maybe like $1,500 expensive. Don't do that.
Sending a what?
A vent, like complaining and ranting and raving. And so like teaching someone a strategy of write all of this into one email to yourself. And at the end of the week, look at your email and pull out what your attorney needs to know and then send it. I mean, that's not legal advice. If there's something urgent, you should send it. And any attorney will tell you that. But I'm telling you that because I'm the worst. My attorney and I laugh now. I'm the worst client. Like, I would, go off. And you can't, there's nothing to solve. An attorney solves problems. Legal problems. If it's not a legal situation, you could be frustrated if it's, I guess, once you're traumatized, once you've been told things for so long, or you're not really sure, or you're figuring things out, there's a lot you can do by yourself. There's like, I get so excited if I talk to someone before they've left. There's so much you can do to save a lot of money. Like, for example, take pictures of all the documents. Look for the mail. Not everything's mail. Maybe it's email now. But look for any bank names or investment corporation names or account numbers, or like even a month or a year of bank statements. You can see what's been being spent to run this family, or passports, secure your passports, birth certificates, car titles. Make sure your name's on the house and the car and the business, and make sure it's in your name too. Maybe it's too late for that though. By the time they call me, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
so
at least take pictures of it all. But also, go put it somewhere. Take it to your best friend's house.
And you're saying this now because there are no orders in place.
I'm saying before someone leaves, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's like, we're talking thousands to subpoena those things. You're probably never going to get them. So if you want to have a real picture of what the courts need to see. So I think recently I heard they've done studies, and financial abuse is present 100% of the time in domestic abuse cases.
So that's one thing like that you said to me and to other people that are maybe haven't gotten their temporary orders or haven't filed yet. That's the best time to talk to someone like Dana, and she can give you the advice before you do it, and you can do the things now before things are filed, because then you're not in trouble, right?
Yeah, and I would love to give you that list, but I won't, because
yes, that it'll be stolen by fathers' rights groups.
They say fathers' rights, but I love fathers.
Yes,
it's my boys, and I love my brothers, but it's a code name for abusers' rights or abuser strategy.
Did you know that there are fathers' rights groups, Carly?
You've mentioned it, but
yeah,
I didn't know that. Yeah,
I heard a rumor that they have, pretty deep pockets, and they're going around paying into people's campaigns and donations. And I asked a couple politicians in one state, and they said, "Oh, that's odd. You said that. I had two groups come this year." So when a state passes like Caden's law or a coercive control law, you're really just ushering in. It's all over the social media right now too. All these groups that are like, dads are people too. And yeah, you are. And let me just say, none of us want to do this alone.
Yeah.
If I had any power for everyone to be able to have their mom and their dad, we all want that, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to be alone?
No.
If you could create a scenario where you had, even divorced, two parents in the kids' lives, would you love a weekend break?
Yeah.
If your kids were safe, secure, happy, well, and a capable person had them in your care, isn't that a dream?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's presented as, we don't want that.
Right.
Why? No one wants to do this alone.
No. Makes it look like we're trying to punish them.
Do you get divorced because you just don't want that person and you just want to do everything alone? No. No one wants, that's ridiculous. No one wants that.
Yeah.
So I can't always share, because I've had it happen where I did share because I just thought maybe some of these people are just misled. They just don't understand, or it's a lack of education. So I gave here's 5 things I do if I know someone's being abused. A child's being abused. What can you do? And not too far later did I get a call from a mom where the abuse had been falsified against them, but they took the 5 steps, being coached by the person I talked to. And it took us 9 months to get those kids back. Now, in that judge's defense, there's one way to turn a judge back, and that is by, we understand you did the best you could with the information you were given, but now you have the full picture and you have a chance. No hard feelings. You have a chance to fix it now. I mean, and like I keep saying, judges are people too.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
So I hesitate to give specifics.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
But I mean, it's very important but not everybody knows. Some of these things are emergencies, or sometimes you're like, wait, I'm abused. What is happening? My kid's in danger. I can't, sometimes it happens faster than you know, because it took a long time to get where you are. It takes a long time to get out, which we discussed last chat, that you don't really ever get out. So
yeah, you're always in it.
There's certain things you can do. And if you've never had another attorney without me, you don't always know that you're saving your money. But it's going to be expensive. It's going to suck. And there's a price to be paid. And if you want to torture yourself for some reason, people like to blame themselves, but really best thing you could do is think outside the box and access resources, get an attorney, get a therapist, but be your own boss. When you did your evidentiary binders, didn't you feel great?
Yeah.
You were in control of your case.
Yeah.
How many people out there email everything that happens to I'm the worst. My dad's an attorney. My dad is in heaven. And everyone would say, oh, you got to document that. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm thinking, oop, dad turning over in his grave. Yeah, I was spouting everything off every time it happened to my attorney. That's not documentation.
Right.
Is the wrong thing to do.
I
So
mean,
learning how to own your own case makes it also that you're not so glued to an attorney if it doesn't go well. You also, the judge needs it organized, clear, simplified, broken down. You win a case by having a one-sheet timeline, catch up. The judge is not going to read everything. They can't. Look at your case. It's gone
Yeah.
for they are not going to know all of that. So they can't. They do. They might read it all, but they're not going to they're not going to know it like you. So really
Yeah.
giving a snapshot of your case, but you learning how to do that with your attorney. Some firms, I think your firm has a database thing where you just submit the stuff up into it and then they go back and check it here and there. So,
So what were some of the questions you had, Carly? What would you want to ask Dana if you like? I'm gonna work on.
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah, get that charging. Well, one of my questions, though, I mean, I asked you earlier, how do you know a good attorney? And you're like, yeah, don't. But let's say I'm getting divorced and I have an attorney and I'm walking down the process like Julie did. Mm-hmm. What things are you looking for to make sure that the attorney is doing what they should be doing?
Well, I had a big, long list of questions to ask an attorney before you hire them. I used to do that.
Okay. What if you're
I've taken it down to one question.
Okay. What is it?
How do you feel about outside expert support in my case?
Interesting. Okay.
And if they say, I'm the expert. You
Fired.
I'm your attorney. Yeah. I know what to say. I know what to do. I know domestic violence. I've done more cases than everyone here.
Out.
You can be one thing. In court, you get to be one. You don't get to be the legal expert and the domestic expert and the child abuse expert and the mental health expert. One thing.
Well, it makes sense.
Attorneys that win are attorneys that don't have to know everything, but know someone that does. I don't know everything. I
can't
just
possibly.
keep trying new things. I bring it to the attorney and say, what about these things? Julie presents it differently, and maybe that's how I present too, when the attorneys trust me and ask me for help. But it is true. I mean, people expect a lot out of attorneys. Can you imagine? I asked Julie's attorney the other day, how do you go out of town with your family? How do you go to sleep? I'm on his case constant, like these cases, like where's this, where's that? And he said, Dana, you're going to be sick. You're going to burn yourself out. You have to turn it off. But yeah, I got to learn that too. I'm better than I was on that. But people don't realize that when you take control of your case, you have a lot more confidence in yourself. You have a lot more control, good lawyer or not.
Say it again.
You asked me before,
Yeah.
how do you know if you have a good lawyer?
Yeah.
Well, what if you find out your lawyer sucks?
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, well, if you've sent everything to your lawyer, you kept nothing of your own, you didn't make your organization like Julie did. Doesn't have to be paper, it could be digital, whatever. You stay with your sucky lawyer. Again, not lawyers that are sucky. It's just that not every case is like this, and they just don't know it yet. In fact, let me just put a shout out. Lawyers I work with, they do like working with me because they don't have time to learn 2% of a practice. Because most of the time, what they've already done is fine. But if they're not who wants to be in this arena all the time? It's not great.
Maybe, I hope this is working. Maybe explain that 2%. Wait, I mean, they don't know what we're saying with 98% and 2%.
Oh, okay. Because we're on a new podcast.
New episode.
So 98% of the time, people, whatever, fall out of love, whatever, they get divorced, something's wrong, they don't want to be with each other anymore. That's fine. They get divorced, they move on, they figure it out. They might not like each other, but it's no big deal.
They're not stuck in family court for eternity.
No. You go to mediation, you settle, you don't like it, you make a deal, you walk away, it's fine. Take turns if you don't like each other, and people just do it. But there's this small percentage. Those are domestic abuse cases. You don't have to be hit, punched, kicked, though you might be. Straddled, punched on the sides of your bed, punched the wall over your head, thrown stuff, whatever. Maybe not just hitting you. That's still domestic abuse. So
yeah, there's like emotional abuse and abuse and financial abuse.
I had someone come up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, you got divorced for emotional abuse." I'm like, "What?" First of all, who are you? Why are you talking to me? And no. So just emotional abuse, just verbal abuse. Those don't usually just land on their own. It's not usually a one thing. Anyway, they've found like 100% of the cases contain financial abuse, right? So many people don't know that it's abuse.
I was gonna say, maybe walk us through that, Dana.
But they know it's abuse. It's funny. It's like it's not that funny, actually. They start talking and they're like, but he only broke my finger.
Yeah, somebody said to me, well, he had a gun and he threw me on the bed, but like I didn't get hurt, so it's not. Yeah. We give them like
or he went 100 miles an hour and told me he was in control and I couldn't get out of the car because he was mad at me and that he held my life in his hands, but he didn't hurt me. Or screaming and screaming and screaming in your face, or shaking his hands over your head. You guys watched The Maid? Have you watched The Maid? I think it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but I think it was filmed up in Washington State. True story. You should watch it. He didn't hit her. It's pretty... I don't like the ending because it makes it look like you all live happily ever after. Maybe that's a little frustrating in all of the portrayals that we get. Happy that maybe someone will learn how it really goes, but you don't always know what it's abuse. In fact, even if you have been hurt many times, our brains are so cool. God made us, our bodies, so amazing. And it's like, I don't know how it works, but somehow we know how much trauma we can handle at a time. So sometimes our brain blocks it, holds it back like floodgate. By the way, I'm not a mental health professional. I do work with mental health professionals. In fact, I run all my cases by an expert, forensic psychologist, just for safety reasons, because I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not a lawyer. This is all based on lots of different trainings. I have lots of certifications. So I'm just explaining what I see happen. And so I actually start people off with their timeline and the process of how do you help your mind remember without remembering too fast and causing a total mental health breakdown, because that can happen too. I don't know if I even believed in that before, grounding, taking a break, box breathing. I don't know if I got all that before. Yeah. Part of taking control of your case and being a good client for your attorney and recognizing, hey, your attorney might not understand because maybe your attorney has had good relationships in their life.
Yeah.
Instead of being mad at them, help them understand. So bringing me in, there's other people. If I can't do it, I'll refer someone else. But training your attorney per case or consulting per case is a good way to go. I don't know that you can find. Attorneys are the first ones to tell me oh, I'm proficient at domestic abuse. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then they get going. I'm like, hey, do you have this study? Do you have these cases? Have you asked these questions? Do you understand why you can't just put stuff on the porch and let them come pick it up? Why my client might be in bed for a week, freaking out after the guy came running at her at the grocery store. Those are things that maybe you wouldn't understand if you haven't been in that or learned that. So I don't even know what question I was answering anymore, but take control of your case, have your facts in a row. You're not going to remember everything at once, and just be glad that your body's that smart and good that maybe you're not going to remember things. In fact, I've said stuff to lawyers and they're like, that client hasn't told me that. I'm like, okay, well, I have a release signed and they're like, you better get your client to tell me that because we're too late for filing. This is our last chance. And I'm like, look, if they're not ready to tell you that, they're not going to tell you that. Well, we're not going to be able to talk about it at trial. Sure, fine. Because I lost my friend. My friend was murdered here in Lehigh years ago. she left too fast and he just shot her. Dave Ragsdale, he's still in prison here. Yeah, and I learned because she moved too fast. She's my friend, you know. The kids love both parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them, and that was rough. That was really, I think it's probably what changed me. Like, wait, she's here, she's leaving you a voicemail, and then she's gone. So trust your body, your mind. You know how much you can handle at a time.
I think there's something to be said about that, because I don't think I had ever experienced like a real panic attack until this had all gone down. And when he said he was leaving and then finally did leave, and then when I saw him again a few weeks later, I panicked. And I saw an Instagram reel where this lady's hands are just shaking, and she's just showing her hands shaking, and it's because she got a text from her abuser. And just that sets you off. And I guess maybe you could explain, Dana, or talk about how, because you always kind of brought that to my attention, different people's different types of trauma responses. Because I know there's some people that, like, you know, will lay in bed and just you cannot function. It's fight or flight or freeze. It's tonic immobility. It's all these things, and we all respond a different way. And for me, like, I guess luckily I have little kids, and I can't just lay in bed, and I have to get up and get moving and get them fed. I don't really have the option to lay in bed, and I must have ADHD, and I want to get crap done, and that's how I am in my own survival. But what are other ways that people, because I know there are people listening right now that are asking themselves, and I know this because they're DMing me saying, how do I know if I'm in a domestic abusive relationship? What would you say to them? How do they know if they're in a relationship that is domestic abuse?
Get the power and control wheel. Circle what applies.
Okay, so I'll put that in the description below, the power and control wheel. And then once they realize that they check off a bunch of different things on that list, what should they do? They
should first go to their local domestic violence support agency. Sometimes they're connected with the courts. Sometimes they're independent. You have one here in Orem. And they have you talk to someone. And that person helps you decide. Like, they help make that decision.
And they can just walk in? Mm-hmm. Do you know what it's called?
Is it called Refuge?
That's one of the, okay.
I can't remember.
Okay.
I do like out-of-state transfers sometimes. Like, I'll call and say, I'm sending someone to you. This is what I think's happening. They'll be there tomorrow or something like that.
So one of the things on your website says that you help women get out safely. How do you do that?
Well, it's not a guarantee, right? I should fix that, because sometimes they don't.
Yeah, that's true. But
you
try.
Safe? What is safe?
Yeah.
Alive?
That's a good question. Yes. I mean,
sometimes.
I guess, what are the first steps in, because we've said that if you get on board before filing starts, you said, you know, save your money, put things aside. What do you recommend they do? Other than,
in addition to those things, or what's I got a call from a therapist last night that's doing this exact same thing last night and today with a client. And I should not legally be making those decisions. It's not my place. But I can usually listen for like a panic in their voice, or like a, wait, are you going to tell him? If I talk to someone, will he know? That's a pretty good sign that there's something wrong. Shouldn't be afraid to talk about problems. Really the best thing to do is go to, you can call the domestic violence hotline. It's 24 hours a day, national hotline. There's a local one in Utah. You can Google it. Easy. Comes up first thing you search. Anything about abuse, it'll pop up, the national hotline. And just people answer. You can ask them anything. They don't know who you are. They don't keep it recorded. I'd say take a screenshot of your call log so you can show you called there for later purposes. Call as often as you want. Ask as many questions as you want till you figure it out. I mean, you don't want to make yourself... Nobody wants to be in that situation.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about how there's different kinds of abuse, and how I think people often... You'll hear people say, I wish that he laid a hand on me. Like, I wish there was a bruise. I wish that there was blood. I wish, because it's easy to see. And I wonder if, well, I have a few questions. One, do you think that the abusers that are not the hitters, that are, the emotional and all the other ways that they abuse, do you think that they always know they're doing it? Because I feel like a lot of women give these, or people give abusers like a free pass because they don't think they know what they're doing. Is that ever the case? Do you think they always know what they're doing, and it's always, yeah, I kind of feel like, and so what I was thinking about was like, it's almost like if you fill out that wheel that you're talking about, or if you go and you start to see yourself in it, you have to kind of know that it's devious and it's worse. It's not like, don't belittle the situation and say like it's not as bad as being hit, because it's worse if they know what they're doing.
There's new research, we should find it and link it, that shows that non-physical domestic violence is longer lasting and more damaging to your brain. To actually it changes your brain.
And it makes you feel alone, and like you can't. I've been in situations where if you take like a relationship, it wasn't a romantic relationship, but if you take this relationship with this person and things that happen, you take these situations and one of them alone is like, oh, well, that was annoying, right? But all of these incidences with the same person, you add them together and there's abuse in there, right?
So that's this is not legal advice, this is experience, but this is how you get a protective order. There's either one main catastrophic event or a pattern of abuse. You have to prove one or the other. Mm-hmm. So a pattern of abuse means over time there's been incidences, so it's important to point out what's happened over time. Mm-hmm. We also know that they escalate. Yeah. And, you know, I don't want to misspeak, but I just saw this report that said, yet. He hasn't hit you yet.
Yeah.
And how a huge number, I wish I could remember it, the percentage of people that have died with never having hands laid on them prior.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want anybody to think that I'm comparing men to animals, but when I was...
Did you choose the man or the bear?
Well, okay, so we had a dog that we adopted that was found in the woods. It was a half Great Dane, half Lab. Huge dog, lived outside. Yeah, the whole litter was found in the woods. The mom died. She gave herself feeding the dogs, and they were just little puppies. It was really sad. Anyway, but we adopted this dog.
Just kidding.
You only have one left.
Wait, you only have one left?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing? No.
I know.
I haven't even been there yet.
Oh, you got to go see him.
I'm actually dog sitting one of my puppies. And one leaves tomorrow. Anyway, keep going.
We're okay. I just have to get my train of thought back. So, anyway, this dog, totally great dog for 7 years. And I grew up in the woods, and he would bring us presents because we think he was a hunting dog, whatever, big dog. And his presents were birds that he found and killed for us, things like that. I guess that's normal for animals, whatever. Well, one day he went across the street and he tried to murder, we shouldn't say that, unalive the neighbor's he's this big dog, and the neighbor's dog is a tiny little, Shih Tzu or something, right? And we had to spend, this is maybe 15 years ago, a long time ago. It was a $1,000 vet bill to save this dog. And the vet told us that it's first little dogs and then it's little children. And my parents had their first grandkid, so maybe this is 20 years ago. And so we had to put the dog down. The reason I tell this story is because that dog was my brother's best friend. That dog, other than being a normal hunting type dog, getting small creatures and bringing them home, there was no evidence to suggest that this dog would ever hurt a human, let alone a small, a small dog. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder if it's in people's nature, like it is this animal instinct where you, little by little, things progress, they escalate, like you said, and then you go from, you get the control, that adrenaline or dopamine or something that they get from controlling your finances. I have a friend whose husband would turn off her credit card when she was at the grocery store. Yeah. I thought that was wild. But they get this control, and eventually they need more and more and more. It's like any addiction. They're addicted to controlling and make you miserable. So,
well, if you throw a frog in a pot of water, it's going to jump out.
Yeah.
I hated that analogy. I think that's so dumb. I hate that. But
You mean
I actually
They start
heard it's
little
not
by
that
little.
true.
They're not just going to do something right now. You're going to leave.
Yeah.
Little by little, you think it's not that bad. But I have so much invested. But I have kids.
Isn't
And-
it's
and it's
called
not
the
all- I'm
sunken
not al- it's-
cost fallacy, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like I've already invested so much, so I have to keep investing in it because of what I've already lost. I'll just keep losing more. It's that sudden cost. Yeah.
And we're brought up to stay married.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they're brought up, they're taught to be good men. That doesn't mean that they are.
So I talked to Dr. Barrett a lot, Dr. Catherine Barrett, professor of law and ethics at USC and forensic psychologist. And I'm like, do they have a playbook? Where's this book? Show me. And she's like, what are you talking about? It's literally the definition of domestic abuse or narcissistic personality disorder, or like they do the same things. How does this person know what this person over here is doing? It's literally how you diagnose people, is they have the same patterns. I don't mean to botch what it was she said to me. She said something much more eloquent, but kind of stuck with me that like, oh, well, these people are doing the same things. So you were asking about how do they know if it's abuse if they're not hitting them? Well, whatever taught us that it's okay to be tortured without being hit? And how many of these men say, I didn't hit you. You're not abused.
Well,
The gun accidentally went off when I was cleaning it, or when I was teaching people how to use the gun, accidentally went off.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Because you know the message is you're next.
Yeah. Right.
If someone gets abused in that home, the message is to everyone in that home, you could be next.
Yeah. I was actually surprised to learn that silence can be a form of abuse.
Oh, 100%.
Because
the worst.
But that feels like the opposite of physical violence, the opposite of yelling. Like you would think that silence is golden. You would think but no, that is a manipulative tactic that is, it's like gaslighting without even having to speak. Right?
Yeah.
But that to me
Pretending you're
opened-
not there.
Yes.
Walking through a room and no eye contact, pretending you don't exist. And you're like, what are you doing? They're like, what? I didn't do anything. Well, I'm right here. You walk through the room. What? Now you want me to greet you when I walk in the room? Okay. Hi. Okay, maybe I don't need him to greet me when I walk in the room. Well, that is weird that you have to tell someone to be like, eye contact? I don't know.
Well,
like,
it's
I
like
exist.
after a
So you watch
fight-
the movie Gaslight, like the old film. Like, watch it. It's short. It
Yeah.
answers a lot of those questions. I mean, I ask myself a lot of these questions. I don't know the answers. I ask people who know them, or I go to training, or I go get certified. I mean, I had to learn too.
But I think for me at least, the light bulb that went off, it was in that moment that I learned that even silence can be abuse.
It's painful abuse
Yes.
that
but-
taught that you're not worthy of a conversation, acknowledgement, explanation, life, money.
I will not do anything for you until you apologize. Everything's your fault, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So I have a client who sends me this thing. She pulled up for court. I mean, really bad situation. Courts have got it really wrong. They didn't for 3 years until some particular person, anyway, sends me this message that says, I'm feeling vulnerable. Send me something that I could use against you in a court of law. I'm like, what is this?
What?
Part of the abuse was like, tell me something vulnerable about yourself so I know you love me. Something that I could use against you. Something bad you've done. Text it to me. But by that point, you're not thinking clearly. You might do it. So women are usually afraid for me to find out one thing. There's usually something they don't want me to know. And I'm like, look, if there's something you haven't told me, tell me right now. Because you've got to at least give me a chance to find a way around it. And we've all done things we would never do in order to appease the person we're with.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. We would never have done that. But you didn't start out that way either.
So, do you know who Jordan Peterson is? He's a...
Who?
On Instagram, older, he has a very particular voice.
Man, I spent a lot of time on Instagram, I guess. You know.
And it's not Instagram, it's usually YouTube. But he's kind of like I don't know what his like education and background and stuff is, but he's
Wise.
Can you tell
he's
I'm
like an
working
online
instead of watching
university.
social media? I mean, I would love that sometime. I'll try. So.
he's somebody who's big into education, but like trying to do it in a cheaper way. And
Great.
anyway, he's super smart. But he talks, and he's an author and all these things, right? So, but he talks about how people have to come to terms with the fact that anybody has the capacity to be bad. Like the idea is, if you can't see the humanity in somebody else and why they would do something poor, like what they would make a choice that you wouldn't do, that you wouldn't make, it's kind of like you say, well, good for you. But you need to put yourself in their shoes and realize that if you were in that situation, you could have made that choice too. You like if you.
I think to a certain point, but I think once you've made certain choices, that's it.
What do you mean?
Like once you've decided to go down that route, if you've made the choice that it's okay to hurt someone,
Yeah. Well,
I don't
it's
think
not-
I could look and go, I could be that person. I don't think I could.
Most people don't, and I think he talks about like World War II, and
Sure.
and Nazis and how they would talk about like I
Well,
never
heard you
thought
talk
that
about
I could do
before,
this.
right? Yeah.
I don't know because I just heard it from my friend, but it
Oh,
was
maybe
like
I heard it from a friend. I've heard that recently.
It
Like,
was
what
like-
would you do if you were in Germany? Would you have gone along with whatever? And we don't know.
well, it's more like it happened like you were saying slowly over time, right? It's like you're in these situations and you do things to appease. Like if you're in their military and you don't want to get dead, you do things you wouldn't normally do.
Okay. I can't believe. So I said I don't like the frog in the water
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So my therapist, I'm like, I don't like that. That's stupid. So he said, okay, do you think Germans are good or bad? Good. My sister-in-law's from Germany. I love her. I was just with my old mission companion from Germany. I love her. Just an hour ago. And no, I don't think German people are bad. He said, do you think Hitler's bad? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so are the German people that obeyed bad? I'm like, no. So was there a bad thing that happened? Yeah. So who got them to do that? I'm like, I don't know. Would you have made that choice? No. Well, how do you know? We don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like putting yourself in somebody's shoes to say, I literally have no idea what it's like to be in that situation. I literally have no idea
I mean,
what
they
I
died
would do.
or obeyed, right?
Yeah. Or and it's this idea of like your surroundings. I was born into a family with two parents that love each other. I was born into a moderate income home. My dad was a cop. My mom didn't work, so we didn't have a lot of money, but we always had what we needed, right? So I've never been super hungry. I've never been put in a position where I had to do something to earn money or to stay safe. I always felt physically safe growing up. I felt safe emotionally, spiritually. My dad made me feel like $1 million. Like I was raised in an incredible home. And so I grew up thinking I could never, like, I don't understand these people and why they would make these choices. But then you start to say, well, what if you didn't have a dad at home? What if you were starving all the time? What if you were, and then you start to think, I don't know. I mean, when they say that you have privilege, the privilege is never having to be put in situations where you have to figure that out,
true.
right? And so I just think these things are so important when we're thinking about these situations with these women and the divorces and all the things. Like, yeah, you might not be proud of what you did, but maybe any other human in that situation would have done the same thing to save their kid. Or, it's that,
Probably.
isn't that like a
I mean,
famous
we would do
movie?
anything, right? Save
That's
our
what I
kids.
keep getting all the time. I'm either exploiting my kids or I'm breeding dogs irresponsibly or, heaven forbid you see me in a Cafe Rio and you don't know that I have a gift card, but you're accusing me of going into Cafe Rio when I claim to have no money and blah, blah, blah. But
You would never do that.
yeah, you don't know what someone else is going through, or the measures that they have to take unless you've been there.
Yeah.
There's things that I've had to do where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've said before, I've yelled at my kids for pouring too much milk in their cereal, for using too much toilet paper, for taking too many paper towels, for changing their clothes in the middle of the day just because they want to wear something else, and then they put those clothes that are hardly worn in the hamper to be washed, and it's more
Rightly so. I've
more
seen your
to-
laundry
yeah,
pile.
right? And more detergent, more water, and I'm just like, oh, that just means more money. And so you you do things sometimes to make up the difference, and that's all of a sudden. I had a friend talk to me the other day, and he went to a strip club, and he was telling me how he had two women servicing him, and I wasn't
Did
even
you use that word?
no,
Dancing.
he did not. It was a lap dance, okay? And the only thing I could think of was that these women were doing what they knew to do to survive.
Oh, I have friends that'll, like, if they're going to give me money, if they're that stupid, I'm going to go earn my money the way I know how. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Oh, your friends have said that.
My clients, yeah, my friends, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like, I didn't
Like,
blame.
if they're that stupid,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But
And
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's
I
like you don't even judge them
anyone
because
for what they do, where they go.
Yeah.
what they- People deal with trauma in their own way, and I'm not here to judge.
Yeah. And one of the other, let's talk about for a minute the actual physical symptoms that come from trauma, because I know for me, I had like my first and only abnormal mammogram. And I was like, what the heck?
I did that.
And what did you tell me?
It's pretty normal.
Yeah. Like 15 of your clients have had abnormal
Me too.
mammograms, and you did too.
If it's, yeah. And if it's not that, it's something. Everyone has, I don't want to say everyone, but maybe everyone. Most of my clients have some sort of health implications, but there's science on this now. You can't always live in this mode that we're in. And sometimes sometimes you've gotten in such a groove, rut, in that abusive situation that your body's like clicking along. Yeah, you might be building up your trauma and your cortisol and causing other damage. But when you disrupt that system because you decide no more, then sometimes things change and are much more traumatic. And then your body has to try to find a new way to survive, which means we have to find a new way to.
It's like a
not
yo-yo
allow it.
diet for our emotions. I feel like.
But do you ever really go back down? I don't think so. It's called hypervigilance, and it there's lots of good studies right now that talk about the damage from hypervigilance. Doesn't have to just be abuse.
What
It
do
can
you,
be from seeing abuse, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dana, you talk a lot about, at least I've heard you say, like, when there's hard days, like today was a hard day for you. And before we even went on the podcast, she was just on fire with cases that are unfair and corrupt.
Yeah.
And lots of times you'll say, I hate what I do. But, someone has to do what she does. What do you like about it?
No one used to do what I did. I don't know what I do. What do I do?
You-
There's a problem. Guess
Yeah.
what, Julie? You should be able to hire an attorney. You tell them what's going on. They write up something so the judge knows what's going on, and they fix it. And it's right, and they do good, and you don't pay all these professionals. It's pay to play. Utah is disgusting. There's like 5 professionals on every case if there's a dime to be had. Why?
And that decision was made for me. We're going to put a guardian on your case. We're going to put custody evaluators on. We're going to have
Why?
and you're going to pay for it, and you're going to go to reunification therapy, and you're going to pay for that privately because they don't bill insurance because it's court
Illegal.
ordered. Yeah.
Can't code, can't
And I
bill.
just was like, what? They're making decisions for you. But I want to know what has made it rewarding for you.
Selfishly, I like to find something that's wrong and fix it. And I have never seen such wrong, but it probably isn't the healthiest thing to say, but you're pretty vulnerable on here.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't bring my friend back. I can't choose a new person to marry. I can't choose a new person to father my children. Right? But, so I'm pretty close with Susan Powell's parents. They help me all the time. I take them with me as clout. If I have to work on something or the news or whatever. And if I'm having a really bad day, that's who I call. And
Is Chuck?
I could cry. He gets it. And I usually end the phone call by saying, well, he usually has a joke or something, but before that, I usually end the phone call by saying, I know I've said this before, and I'm sorry Charlie and Brayden aren't here anymore. Because they're gone, my kids are safe. Same courthouse, same professionals, same guardian ad litem, same therapist, it's crazy. And it's true. We were the only 2 cases in the courthouse, mine and his. And I feel terrible that happened. I can't fix it. I'm devastated that my friend is gone. Okay, can I cry on this case?
Yeah.
Like her oldest son just got engaged. I'm so excited for him to get married, but also hurts. I went to the temple with him when he's going on his mission, and it's a lot to think about. Like, her mom handles it way better than me. She comforts me. That's her mom, who was standing next to her when she was shot in the Lehigh Church parking lot. So I freaked out, and I'm in a different state, and she would always calm me down. We'd talk all night sometimes when I was upset, and, you know, some people just have that. So I can't fix that. I can't change that, but I can see that there is something so disgustingly broken and wrong, and my kids are safe, and I'm safe. I might not be done. We might never be done, but I was protected. I still am. My kids are too. My adult dependent son is protected. Why? I don't know anyone else that has that. How did I do that? And I think, God, I was mad at my attorney dad having died before I needed help, but he helped me, you know? I don't know, just to be really honest, like sometimes I don't know, like what in the world, because even when you win, do you win? But I guess like if I can help another mom, it's probably my goal right now. You know, the people that have come through you, like, I think it might shock them sometimes when I'm like, I cannot wait for your case to at least be signed. I can't wait for you to do this. Or, hey, are you interested in helping moms do blah, 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 blah? Like, let's start a business for you. You know, like there's something everyone can give back. I have a lot of things I want to do that I'd love to do, but I cannot sleep at night knowing that something is in here that I have success with. And maybe it came from the first set of kids that I helped, or the second, or the third. I don't know, but it works. It shouldn't have to work. Until that changes, I would love to never do this job again. Please put me out of business. Go write your laws you're talking about. Go make it work, because I don't want to fight, because it's logical. It shouldn't happen. But I've also learned, I'm learning big lessons too at the same time. I don't love it, but you know, I can't control everyone and everything, and people are going to do bad things. So what do we do about it? And how do I stay? There's one thing I've prayed for since my situation happened. One thing. Want to know what it is? Probably not what you think.
Yeah, what?
One thing. And that's what I asked for. I asked to feel. Because I don't want to feel. And I could feel myself closing off, because I didn't for a while I was married. It's hard because I was so scared all the time. I was so protected all the time. So I pray to feel. So I don't want to be all gushy on you, but sometimes when I'm like, I need to do that thing for that person, and then it works, I'm like, oh my gosh, God lives. He still loves that person. That's crazy. How did that work? I was telling her Carly, about a situation where I'm like, I asked this attorney, will you do this? And then you do this, and let's see if this works. And I'm not sure why. And it worked. And everybody's laughing like, what did Dana just do? I just felt like, let's try this. Let's see. Maybe these judges are just uneducated. Maybe they just don't know. Let's give everyone the benefit of the doubt and a way out. But let's fix it while we're at it. I mean, Joan Meyer tells us, you know, everyone join the AFCC. Everyone join. Go teach, go train. Teach the right things. I teach the law. I don't teach legal, but give me a case study. You know, show me the law. What does the law say? So go ask your attorney for that, you know. Go to the bar trainings that I can go to. Go to the JFCJ that trains the judge, you know, education. Join AFCC, do their trainings. Go to IVAT, do their trainings. Like, learn, how do we fix this? Maybe it's if more of us stand up. But I understand that some people can't. So maybe that's my joy. Maybe I stand up for some people that can't until they can. Yeah. Because I have some pretty cool people I've met that have been there and come out helping other people, and that would make me really happy.
Tell them about IVAT. What's happening?
I don't even know what the acronym means.
I don't know what it means either, but is that the way
Leah
you're
and
speaking?
Leah and I went and got trained. by IVAT. Yeah, and then they asked us to speak this fall. We'll see what comes of that with me.
But
and
it's
Leah.
like a global event.
Pretty big deal,
isn't
it's
it?
kinda fun. I mean, they probably only asked me because Leah, but you know,
No, I don't
pretty
think
cool.
so. Two
no, but
experts.
it's really like what really should be happening. But there's no funding for what really should be happening. Like I told you, follow the money. It's really hard to, keep that going, keep that funded, and to be doing the right thing. Money doesn't always go where the right thing is. I mean, it blanketly looks like it.
It's
on
hard
the outside.
because, and maybe it sounds awful, but when we're in family court and kind of shackled in the depths of it, it's like, and trying to get funding to help protect moms and kids or the protective parent, we're like competing against kids with cancer. You know what I mean? Like that's where funding will go. That's where.
And this is killing kids too.
Yeah.
I sometimes I feel this heavy burden of saving people. I feel like I have to carry everyone's testimony. Oh my gosh, they're not going to believe in God. They're going to, like I'm saying, they blow their lives up. Sometimes they, get into drugs or alcohol or sex or whatever it is. I'm not judging them. That's how they deal with their trauma.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. But it's a lot to carry.
I mean, but it's not my job, but I just want to show them like it's okay and that you're still worth something.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like men. A lot of people don't like men. They're my friends. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if I,
Yeah.
and maybe women are abusers too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we talk a lot in here about men abusers that tell you what, when the woman's the abuser, it's sometimes worse.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I've seen it.
Really?
It's just percentage wise. That's why we say men all the time, but it's really not that. I mean, women abuse too.
And how do you tell? I mean,
Women abuse women. I mean, it's a pretty big deal.
but this is why, when you talk about the judges trying to figure out who's the party that is actually in the wrong, who's the protective parent and who's not, it's like, how do they tell? Because I have seen women, the worst narcissists I've ever known are women. And they get away with it. And they ruin lives. And they do it while sitting on their couch watching TV. It's wild, the things that they can do. And like, I feel for these judges. I feel for people who are supposed to, keep law and order. And how do they know if they're telling the truth, right? It's like,
I think that's one thing Dana taught me was, I was like, well, what's the point? Why are we doing this? And she said, she always would say it's to be found credible in front of the judge. It's basically,
learning how to be who you were before
yeah,
rather than trying to convince everyone to believe you. Because sometimes that looks uncredible when you're trying, or you feel like no one believes you.
mm-hmm.
So you kick and scream and fight, and that sometimes doesn't look very credible,
Yeah.
but it's legit.
That was one of the greatest days in my trial was when he said, I find Julie to be very persuasive. I was like, yes, you did. Thank you. And you should, because this is the truth. My voice is getting hoarse.
But Julie, are you ever going to do anything wrong again?
Of course I am.
Probably.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's over and we're perfect and that we're never going to do anything wrong. I'm not saying that. And we're going to deal with our trauma in our own way. You said you eat a lot of ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I've never seen you do that really. But if we are going to do something, it's usually ice cream.
It's true.
But everyone does their thing, right?
Yep.
So don't judge. You can't tell an abuser by a gender. And find a good friend and careful, because when something feels right, sometimes it's just familiar
Yeah.
and not right. Friends can be abusers too sometimes. Try to feel. That's all I can say. It's not fun sometimes, but try to feel.
Yeah.
And if you're open, sometimes some answers will come to you. And I don't always know it. I mean, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a mental health professional. I do all these trainings. Why? Because it works. Because people need help. There's things people don't know. And maybe because everyone's not a monster, you can't really see it in another person because you don't see it in yourself.
Yeah.
And so standing up for kids is never going to be wrong. And silence is abuse. Like you were saying, silence is abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say, I don't want to get involved, you're supporting the abuser.
Yeah. Yep.
do you have any advice for let's say you're in a neighborhood and there's a marriage falling apart and there's always drama and you want to be a good friend. Is there ways that you can navigate truth? Or like, I don't want to say choose sides, but you can't just assume that your same gender person in the relationship is the one that's not getting
or if
abused.
they're both the same gender, right?
Yeah, or that too, right?
Yeah.
Like, but are there patterns that you have seen where you're like, I'm pretty sure somebody with this one would be the abuser, or the opposite? Like, are there signs?
So if you didn't know them before and you're trying to decide now, you probably shouldn't.
But I mean, like, you know them both, right? And you didn't see it coming. Like, these are people in your neighborhood, you know them, you love them, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? What is happening? And they're claiming abuse, and you're like, I don't know what to believe, right? Like,
Yeah, but why do you have to decide? They reveal themselves. I mean,
the idea of being a good friend, right? Like, it's not that you have to, it's more like, well, I don't want to sit around and, like you said, not get involved, not say or do anything if I should. I don't want to get involved in people's business, but I also don't want to be neglecting things that I should, right? So like, but I also don't want to enter it from the wrong angle, thinking that I'm helping when I'm hurting because I'm helping the abuser. You know what I mean?
I've always thought, like, you can't really do harm if you're kind to the person talking about their abuse. And if they reveal themselves that it wasn't that, you still didn't do anything wrong.
Do you think because some people will say it hurt my feelings that they were talking to my abuser, right? Like,
Yeah. So I was accused of, I will not have a relationship with anyone that has a relationship with someone that means harm to me.
mm-hmm.
And I've had a pretty hard stance on that. I didn't love it, but it was given to me as what I needed to do, and I stand by it.
By not having a relationship with someone who's someone else.
No, not having a relationship with someone who meant harm for me, someone who had hurt me. I would not engage with someone. I can love them. I'm also protecting them to not be a target for the person trying to get to me, because I know that I'm most hurt by hurting someone I love. That bothers me. And I saw my friends be targeted in the past, and I wasn't. So,
as a way of loving them, you say, we're not going to continue this friendship because you will be a target and used against me.
sometimes I did that, but generally it's because they were in touch with the person that was not allowed to know about me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it hurts. It's happened to me before, and I don't even have like the same like ruling or rules as you got from the judge. It hurts like I said in the baptism, it hurt to see family members go and hug him and shoot the breeze and, oh, it's so good to see you, while my kids are watching it happen. It hurts. It does not feel good. But how do you go up to someone and say, can you not have a relationship with this person, please? That'd be great.
You don't do that. You have to make your decision. You can't make their decision.
Yeah.
But you can probably talk to your own self about, look, something happened in this person's life that they feel like they have to respond this way. It's called fawning. I'm not. What I've seen that called before is fawning. And sometimes it's to soothe their own nerves. They're feeling awkward. They're not sure how to act.
Yes.
React.
Yeah, we have no control over what they do. Do you have any other?
Of course it hurts your feelings.
It does.
But you know what's more devastating is sharing with a friend and having that friend's stuff written all over your court papers. Text messages you send or conversations you had, all thrown to a judge by your ex. That's a terrible feel. That's worse. Feels worse.
It's like going to lunch with the enemy, sleeping with the enemy.
Especially when they say they're your friend.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
There's a book called Healing from Hidden Abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it? Do you like it?
I don't dislike it. Yeah.
Okay. My mom and dad love it.
I love it. I think it's great.
So in that book, she calls them flying monkeys.
Yeah, they are flying monkeys.
And I love that description, though, because it's like, I think that's what you guys are describing, are these people that your abuser is using against you to control you or torment you in some way.
It doesn't mean the person's bad, and the person may not have any knowledge of it, but they're being used as a way to harm.
I think a lot of them don't know they're being, like, I think that's the...
You mean the flying monkey doesn't know?
The flying monkey doesn't know.
Oh, no, they don't know. Yeah, they don't know. They think they're helping. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Like, and then they're offended that you don't want to talk to them or tell them anything. And it's like, well, anything I tell you is going to be used against me.
You have to understand that there's some sort of feedback they're getting by bringing that information back, if that's what it is. So there's something in that person's life that's not healed or is unhealthy, likely.
Or is confused, like.
I don't think it's so much confusion. I mean,
No?
it takes some effort to go gather information for someone or.
Because
cause
I
harm.
have, in our family, there's a stake president married to one of my family members who, we talked about this a little bit last time, and it confused everybody when he was like, actually, you only have to keep this is obviously the story the way we heard it, right? But it was, you only have to keep the covenants that make you happy. Bye, I'm going to go get remarried to somebody that I counseled and you're friends with. Bye. And then you're like, but this is very confusing.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So, I don't want to be too particular in the details, but it was confusing to have a leader in the church who I loved. I have not talked to since this happened, which was years ago. But he was my favorite. And he just kicked my aunt to the curb, And the way it went down was awful and confusing, and it's hard to reconcile. But I can see kids or, people who love him trying to have a relationship with both of them, right? You don't want to pick. It actually became very easily to pick for. I'm going to stay with my aunt, right? But I can see people being confused and wanting to be like, but he didn't mean it, or whatever a little kid would say, right? You don't understand. You're confused. How would this guy?
To a little kid, though, there's a lot of history, grooming,
Yeah.
confusion, but there's also a lot of religious trauma, probably, and a lot of this person has a great calling. This person was allowed to ordain their kid. They must be worthy. Oh, this person lied to their stake president and got a ton of recommend. Must be a good person.
Right.
So I think confusing church position and responsibilities with being good. I teach young women. You ask my young women, because someone goes to church, does that mean you can trust them? No. Because someone's a good church member, does that mean they're a good person? No. What does forgiveness look like? None of your business. They should tell you that because it's true. But that's used as a weapon sometimes. It's really just maybe traditionally how we used to think. It's not gospel.
No, it's just.
And again, agency. Someone
Yeah.
could have been worthy to be a stake president and then made a choice for whatever reason. And doesn't mean they're a bad person to choose to not be that way, but it doesn't make it okay to harm someone else.
Right.
But I'm sure it's confusing.
It's so confusing,
But it's an adult decision, right? Because you
Yeah.
can't force them to choose good or to be nice or to.
but it's how you see. I'm sure this is alienating and it goes in there, but you can see how parents could use their kids as flying monkeys, right?
100% kids are flying monkeys.
They just they have no idea what they're doing.
No idea.
And
Mom, there should just be peace in the home. What are you doing? Can't I just bring this to Dad's? Dad, give me some food to bring back home because I only eat junk food here. No, you don't only eat junk food here. Yeah, I do. My dad told me. Yeah. That's silly, but.
But yeah, exactly.
The latest one is these guys are teaching these kids. I had it happen in different counties in this state on the same day. The babies are saying, I only love mommy. I only want mommy. And the mommies are saying, you love mommy and daddy. It's okay to love both. Nope, I only want mommy. And I'm like, wow. They're getting prepped for an interview by a guardian ad litem or a custody evaluator because the baby's never said that before. And we want help, right? We want these guys to pull through and be a parent and help us not choose.
No, absolutely want that. But what I'm thinking is funny is my husband literally was just telling me of a conversation that he had with a coworker where they were talking about, we have kids that are the same age. They're 4 years old. And we are all about the same age. These are our last kids by a lot of years. So we joke together, we're too old for this, we're joking around. But he was saying that his daughter, the 4-year-old, wants nothing to do with him. She only wants mom, right?
Very normal, very age appropriate.
And
right?
James was
Normal.
like, yeah, same at my house. I'm chopped liver, right? Mine only wants me to put him to bed. It's just normal and typical. When I hear about this alienation and Julie talks about this stuff, I'm like, but if you weren't in this situation, that would be normal. That's expected. I would think it was abnormal if I was a guardian for the kids to behave in a different way, right? It's just weird because that's normal human psychology. Like, my kid just wants me. He's
How
fine.
about this next podcast? How about this next time I'm in town?
Yes.
What's so crazy is, wait, why is mom responsible for the relationship this child has with the dad? She's not there anymore. She can't run roughshod. She can't buffer. She can't set him up to, hey, this happened in school. You should go ask your son this. She's not there. She can't fix it. So, of course, he's going to blame her because she's been playing that role. And I can blame myself for that. Yes, I've been there. He didn't learn how to do it right because he was harmful and weird and scaring them or awkward, or they didn't connect. And so I helped them. But now I can see maybe he doesn't want to be nice to them, or maybe he really doesn't know how to interact with them. But now I'm faulted for that. But you have a law we're in Utah. You have a law in Utah, in Ohm's law, that says you can't remove the children from one parent to strengthen a relationship with another. Why are your judges still doing that?
Mm-hmm. How long ago did Ohm's law pass?
2 years ago, almost exactly.
I remember when Steve said to me in a hearing,
Wait,
Was
what
it
year
2
is
years
it?
ago?
26.
I think it was
24?
2 years ago. Yeah.
24.
He said to me, or he said in the hearing, that, he's like, because we were talking about reunification therapy, and he said, it is not up to mom to reestablish the relationship between, the petitioner and the kids. And the judge said, oh, no, Mr. Christensen, I disagree with you. Our guardian ad litem here is saying that mom is gatekeeping, and she is just as much responsible for that relationship breakdown as he is.
How did they come to that understanding?
Alienation claims. I mean,
but how did the guardian litem figure out you were doing something wrong?
oh yeah, that's a freaking good question because
Was
he
he around when
yeah,
they were
yeah,
young?
he
was in Vegas. I don't know. Like, I
the
mean,
guardian
they're
ad
not used to
litem
being there.
found out because of his investigative approach for about 2 minutes with each kid, and
There's
saying
no requirement.
yeah,
I
it
think
was
they're
like
working on a
30
guardian ad litem
seconds.
bill right now.
I sure hope so, because I was like, how are you gonna know I'm alienating when you spoke for about 30 seconds with my two youngest, maybe 2 minutes with the next kids?
But that's what
maybe
they're taught
4
in
minutes.
the trainings, the AFCC trainings right now. guardian ad
It was as
training.
quick as possible. You didn't talk. You didn't get anything out of them.
But if you don't want 50-50, you're the abuser.
Yeah,
That's what they're taught right now.
yeah.
At least the ones I've heard.
My gosh, we could talk about this for days. And my
There's an emotional bank account. Do we not talk about this anymore? Or is this 20 years ago college that doesn't apply anymore?
It applies.
Like, I'm sorry, but I'm like on one because I don't care if you're married or not married. My husband is responsible. He has his own bank account with his children, and he is putting money in. He's putting them to bed or taking them to soccer practice or listening to them or playing songs or whatever. And he's adding the green so that when he has to yell at them for being idiots or whatever it is, he still has money in the bank account, right? Like, they still love him. He's not withdrawing beyond the amount that he has in there,
Yeah.
because he's added, right? Like, when you don't show up for your parent time, you're subtracting from this bank account. You can do nothing, Julie, to add green into his bank account if he doesn't show up. That, like, you can't do anything.
Worse than that. If you do add, your kids no longer trust you.
yeah.
Dad loves
Interesting.
you. Oh, that's what love looks like. Okay, my mom just taught me that's what love looks like. And that's what I deserve.
I didn't even think about that. Like, I feel like there is a disconnect between science and law. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
Follow Joan Meyer.
psychology.
NSPO. Join the NSPO, National Safe Parent Organization. Danielle Pollock. Follow all that if you are confused, no matter what state you're in. There's state chapters, NSPO. National Safe Parent Organization. If you want to get involved, if you want to know what laws are going on in your state, if you want to help out, if you just want to learn, if you just want to support, they have free monthly trainings on there. The truth, Dr. Catherine Barrett taught me this. The truth is not complicated. When you're trying to rewrite history or the truth, you get guardian ad litems with
I feel like
lots of
common
stories.
sense is gone.
There's no money with common sense. Where are the people without money? You don't see them in court. Where are they? Do they not have alienation? Do their kids always love both parents? No, they don't have any money.
Yeah.
So they're treated differently.
And I never had any money. They just thought that we did.
I know.
They got
He
cash
did.
for kids.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
But it's not in his bank account.
Yeah.
Duh.
That's a
He
whole
learned
other
that.
podcast is what they do with their assets and money
I
and
think
where they
Julie's
hide it.
voice is gone.
Can you hear it? It's like
Oh,
losing.
You're
No,
falling
we
asleep.
can't hear it.
Your
That's the
blinks are
problem.
I
getting
know.
longer and
Well, you guys, it's
longer.
11:45 p.m. I've been up since 5
Is
with
it for real?
puppies.
What?
Yes,
My eyes are
we need to be done. And my voice, fun fact, I had nodules as a 13-year-old. So my voice gets hoarse and I sound like a man. That's why I sing first tenor. Anyway, Dana is in town and we're lucky to have her.
I hope I didn't say anything really stupid that I'm really going to
No,
regret. Disclaimer, sometimes I'm tired. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh.
I say stuff all the time. I listen back and I'm like, what in the actual?
I'm embarrassed to see what, I mean, I am number one putting my foot in my mouth.
Oh,
but
no.
I am
Hello.
who I am. I cannot help it. I want to be better and more filtered, but I only tell the truth.
Yeah, I
And
know.
sometimes it comes out not quite how I mean it, but
Yep. And when you put yourself out there, you're just eligible for getting ripped on. I'm the first one to tell
ooh,
you that.
I don't like that, so
I know.
I'm pretty nervous.
I know. So be kind.
We'll listen back before we publish it.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. I'm also hosting a gathering for single moms who are trapped in family court, and Dana is going to be our guest. We're going to do it like in May, so you'll be good to go. And so email me or DM me if you are in that situation or know someone who is.
And Julie, can't you just put them in a group with a bunch of other moms going through this? Just
Yeah.
know that doesn't mean that they know something more than you do.
Yeah.
Maybe they've experienced it before. You don't have to take all the advice of everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do have a list of experts. We do have attorneys that have been trained previously. If you use an attorney I've trained before, it's usually awesome. Saves you tons of money. If your attorney will listen to you, rare. Sometimes you're paying them. They'll talk to whoever, listen to whoever. But
Yeah.
I would say lean on those around you that have done it before and know what they're doing. But everyone's full of advice when you get divorced, right? Everyone
Jeez.
knows what to do. Do not be offended if someone doesn't get it. And don't just do it because they say. Because chances are they've only experienced divorce in the normal
98% range.
98%. Don't get along. Oh, he's a jerk too. Yep, I don't like being around him too. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And you know why I know that? Shout out to, I don't even remember, Anna, maybe her name was. In my state, you have to take a divorce class. This woman, the team teacher, pulls me out, and I'm like, great, I failed the state family court or divorce training, whatever. She took me in the back room and said, you're in an abusive relationship, right? And I'm like, huh? And she said, this doesn't apply. I want to teach you this. And she taught me, you're 2%. You're out here. Don't do this, do that. And I went, what did I say? Is it on my head? What did I do? So someone taught me.
Yeah.
It's
we all
okay
start
that not
somewhere.
anybody gets it. It's okay. Julie gets it.
Yeah. Well, after a lot of deer in the headlight moments, like Carly's getting now, like, what the?
Julie says, Carly's got a question for you. I'm like, oh, Carly's going to not like me today. I don't know. I don't know.
I love it. I love learning. I love learning what I don't know. And
Carly, what did I say to you when I met you? And you're telling this mom, like, pray, go to the temple. I'm like, all right, that's it. That's enough.
No,
You're going to ruin her testimony. Let's go. She's going to figure this
that
out
was-
soon.
That wasn't a super awesome situation because I did not feel like what I was saying was exactly what you were thinking.
It wasn't. I walked in. You guys are talking. I walked up and I'm listening. I'm like, oh, this is bad. I got to stop this religious talk right here. But here I am coming outside of Utah, coming in going, oh, geez, here we go.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but
It wasn't bad.
I think it's one of those like it's your experience,
Expertise,
right? And I think I'm fairly sensitive to all of that because I don't think you can pray things away. I don't think you
Right.
know, but in that particular situation, I felt like it was okay. But I also
It
know
is
where
always okay.
I also know where you were coming from. 'Cause
Yeah, I know,
you
but you're
don't
cool
know
like
me.
that. That's not normal to be
Yeah.
open like that. Because I'm like, Julie, I think I did something I shouldn't do. Can you check it? She's like, no, Carly's cool. I'm
No,
like, oh,
but
thank
also,
heavens.
like in Utah, we've got the LDS culture, and we're gonna.
I
give
don't
it all,
hear that where I
give
am.
it, yeah,
Like,
we're
I
gonna
really
give it
don't.
all we've got, and if I have enough faith, and if I fast and pray, like He will still love me, and it just
No,
when that doesn't happen, then you,
probably never did.
yeah. Oh, see, she's bold.
Prayer
She'll
doesn't
tell you how it
change
is.
people.
Sorry.
Easy.
Probably he
true.
probably wanted to. He's probably like, dang.
Yeah, He probably
if I
wanted
had
to.
feelings, that's who I would have
Yes.
them for. Let me watch this
Yes.
movie and see what do feelings look like. Okay,
Oh my gosh.
let me go get her.
It's so true, and it's so bad, and it's so
When she
gross.
told, we got to go to bed, but when she told us, when she on the podcast talks about the engagement story, have you heard that story?
No.
Okay, when we turn this off, you're hearing that story. I died. I was
Your
like,
engagement story?
yes. Okay, we got to go, guys. I got to tell you the story.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll post the.
They've already told me.
I know, but I'll post which episode it's on where he proposed and then
Hey, I'm not all the way through.
left me to the curb again. Or I guess for the first
I have to
time.
go have surgery, and I will listen to all the rest that I have. I have a very short attention span, which is why I go from one client to one attorney to. So I follow my calendar, so I can do half at a time.
I know.
We
This
just
is
went
long.
an
No, an hour and a half, people. We are so sorry. I sound a little stoned. So it's bedtime.
Wait, is it legal? We're in Utah, where I live. Everyone is. So.
Oh. I sound like a man. I gotta go. Thanks for coming in, Data. We'll see you guys later.
So now you know what it means to be gritty. You can be dirty, but you're still so pretty. Now make a pledge and never take no pity. Baby, welcome to the gritty committee. She's a pretty girl and she got gritty plans. So get out the way so she can wash her hands of the blame and the shame.